Worship with awe. I love the word awe. It is so misused. It is so overused, the word awe. We have made a mockery out of the word awe. And we need to get back. It's hard to even define what awe really means. The reverence, the awesomeness, the power of the word awe. Well, the Apostle John, he tried to describe it one time because he had an encounter with Jesus. In the book of Revelation chapter 1, the Bible says that I, John, was in the Spirit on the Lord's day. I love that. He got in the Spirit on the Lord's day. Well, I could too if Jesus was standing there. Hold on, Jesus hadn't even shown up yet. But John had just been boiled 3 times in oil and thrown onto rocky Patmos and left to die. And yet on the Lord's day, he got in the Spirit. And some of you couldn't get in the Spirit, even though we had a band, we got a screen, we had people telling us how to worship, singing songs to worship, and you still can't get in the Spirit. My God, you'd been in a sad place if you was John. But here's what he did on the Lord's day. He got in the Spirit, and this is what he said. This is amazing. He said, I turned to see the voice that spoke with me. And having turned, I saw 7 golden lampstands. And in the midst of the 7 lampstands, one like the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the feet, and girded about the chest with a golden band. His head and his hair were white like wool, as white as snow. His eyes were like a flame of fire. His feet were like fine brass, as if refined in a furnace. And his voice, when he spoke, was like the sound of many waters. And he had in his right hand 7 stars, and out of his mouth went a sharp 2-edged sword. And his countenance was like the sun shining in its strength. And when I saw him, I walked up, put on my Jesus is my homeboy t-shirt, and went, what's up, Messiah? But is that not the watered down version of Jesus that we're telling people to worship today? No, there was a day he walked on the earth, but if you saw him now, you would have the same response John did. He said, I fell at his feet like a dead man. He laid his right hand on me, saying, do not be afraid. I'm the first and the last. It's time we get some awe back in the church. It's time we realize how bad we were and how we were on our way to hell. But Jesus died on a cross. But now he is no longer dead. He is alive, and he rules and reigns at the right hand of the Father. And we need to bring some all back to our worship. Your coffee was good, but it wasn't awesome. Jesus is awesome. Jesus is awesome. And we got to get back to the place that we say, Jesus, you are awesome.